Well, hey everybody! So, in doing these live on Facebook, I have to allow for a little delay because it delays, and then I got to adjust my face. Hi, welcome to Infinite Being School. I'm Crystal, for those of you guys that I haven't met before, Crystal Crawford, and you are in the most non-school school of all time. And forgive me while I turn my phone off because I forgot. We are going to dive into today what is working easy. And do you want that? And this is going to be an introduction to energy pulls and why you would want to do energy pulls. And now this is giving me an alert, telling me I need to take some action. And we're just gonna go. And it wants me to learn while I'm going live. So never mind, Facebook, you shut up. If you guys are watching live and you want to send me a comment about where you're watching from or just say hi, I'd love that. Listen, guys, energy pulls have energy pulls have been around since there was energy. Hi, Deidre. This is not a new conversation. And this is not something that you guys have, this is probably something you guys have heard something about. Hi, Lene. But I want to tell it, like, basically I get discovered on Google more quickly than any other method by people searching the phrase energy pull. They find my website. And one of the things I became aware of is that there's something here that we know about, that we know will make things easier for us, that we keep looking for. And so what I want to start to address in these next 5 videos, this one and the next 4, is what that is. What are we aware of? Hi, Charlie. Hi, Deirdre. What is it that we are tapping into? Why? Why do this? And the why is going to start to give us that information that we seem to be missing, where we're like, I know there's something else. The book I'm going to be pulling from in terms of just great info is the book called Right Riches for You. And this conversation in this particular section of the book is on generation versus creation. Hi, Kim. And this was the first time where I started to realize that there was a difference, that there's basically 2 ways of functioning when it comes to getting things to show up. And that for the most part, we are taught the hard way, which is why things most of the time feel hard. And we aren't taught the easy way. And that there are different ways of creating. And now, from this point on, I'm going to put creating in air quotes because I want to talk about the difference between creating actually and generating. So, creation, to get something to show up, so what's the difference between getting something to show up and allowing it to show up? What's the difference between making something happen and receiving something occurring? What's the difference between getting a fixed point of view about what something should look like and be like, etc., and like making that happen, and not knowing what it's going to look like, not knowing what it's going to be like, but having a sense of it and knowing that it's going to show up? Which way is working hard and which way is working easy? Now, the thing I think trips us up the most about this way is that it is, hi Elodie, it is incredibly undefined. And it requires a level of relaxation and a level of trust and a level of knowing that most of us aren't very comfortable with. It's pretty far out of our comfort zone. Whereas this way over here, a lot of us are pretty comfortable with. I come from a long line of doers, make things happen, get things done. So this is comfort zone for me. I don't come from a long line of ask and receivers. Okay? So this way over here is creation. Creation requires something to be destroyed in order to create something new, and that's the cycle of creation. Basically, you destroy what was there before, and then you create something new. This way over here is generation. This over here is going, okay, cool, I created that. Now what else is possible? And it's playing with and engaging with the energies of what it is you'd like to show up and dropping your projection and your expectation about what it looks like. Now, it isn't that there's no action in this way, because there's tons of action. It's called following the energy. So once you start getting the energy and you start cultivating it and you have a real sense of it, and I would say there's 3 pieces to this, then you start following it and you take action as it's time to take action. But this is very different than over here where we are taking action because we've decided we need to and we have to and we've got to in order to make what we've decided we have to have show up. This over here is creation. This over here is generation. So obviously, like in this, and there, you can see like even from my hand example, they're like 2 totally different universes. So for me, the why pull energy is working easy instead of working hard. Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you straight up that do I always choose easy? No, sometimes I like hard. So, okay, fine. That's like not, this doesn't make this one right and super conscious and this one wrong and super unconscious. That's not what we're talking about here. We're literally just talking about that there's different ways of living. And if we want to choose it, we can choose ease. So this conversation and this series of conversation is about the possibility of you choosing more ease. One of the ways of choosing more ease, and I really recommend this book, by the way, this is the Kindle version, Right? Riches for You. This is like a master class on generation. One of the things Gary says is he's like, you guys already know how to create. So creation, for example, in relationship would be like, this is a terrible example, but I'm going to use it anyway. So let's say things aren't going smooth between you guys. Basically in relationship, we're taught that if things aren't going well, then it's the relationship that's the problem. You need to figure out what the problem is and try to fix it. And if the problem can't be fixed, you need to get a new relationship. Now, that's not everybody's version of relationship, but that's become kind of the modern version of like, well, if it's not working, then it's the wrong guy or the wrong girl, and you just need to find the right guy or the right girl, and then you can have a good relationship. That's really what I learned. What's different than that is going, what else is possible here that I haven't considered? What other tools do I have available to me and to us that we've never considered? That's different. That all of a sudden opens up this other universe where you don't have to destroy what you've created in order to have something new, which would be this person is the problem or I'm the problem and therefore we need to destroy this relationship so I can get a new one. You go, okay, what if we just destroy and create who we were yesterday? And we start fresh today with what choices do we have today that we've never considered? And you begin generating something new with everything you've instituted so far. Can you see how that's going to be easier? Now, on one hand, it's going to be easier because like you don't have to go out and start dating again and like find a new person and everything. You can be new today. You don't even have to explain it to each other. Okay, we're new. Now what can we choose? What can we create? On the other hand, could be uncomfortable because that's a new way of functioning, right? So I think those are 2 pieces really worth talking about. On one hand, it's a lot easier because you don't have to do all this brand new stuff to institute something new. On the other hand, it's really different. And so there will be a lot of learning involved over here that there might not be over here. And so that I think is probably where we get ourselves tripped up because we're like, yeah, ease, assuming that every step in the process is going to be like the easiest thing we've ever encountered. What ease brings is new possibilities, new ways of functioning, and new things we need to learn. For example, once we start really cultivating the energy, which is what this energy pull is for, today you're going to be invited to go check out the very first new one in the shop. Then we need to practice following the energy. Right? And some of you are masters at this. Literally, I've met people that are so good at following the energy, they're way better than I've ever been. I had to teach myself because I'm very much a doer, very much creation land, right? I'm a doer, I get things done, I make decisions and I go for it. And obviously over the last 10 years, that's changed a lot with Access Consciousness. But so I had to teach myself to follow the energy. What is that? How do you know when something matches? And how do you choose those things? And so that's a whole other practice, right? But what I want to gift you today is why pull energy? Because this way is harder and this way is easier. And in this way, you can start to cultivate in your reality the sense of what it is you want your life to be like. Now, the energy pull that you're going to go check out after this video is meant to be used for 90 days consecutively, so that you can like practice and actually get this energy in your world lodged, so real, so visceral to you that you can't not follow it. And trust me, you do anything daily for 90 days and you're going to be a different person. And I've mixed it, I recorded it, and I mixed it with binaural beats. So it is like the most nurturing thing you've ever listened to in your life. And if you already have been to the Clearing with Crystal shop and purchased one of those clearing loops and added this on, this is that one. But if you haven't, it's now a standalone product. And you can, there's a little educational video in the folder for you to know what to do with it. There's a PDF challenge tracker so you can track your 90 days. I highly recommend putting a reminder in your phone, and you can actually just like put a reminder in your phone, slip your headphones on, and just like bathe yourself in this energy. So actually it's two things. You're bathing yourself in the energy, but you are also actively cultivating, tapping into, and creating the energy you want your life to be like. That is the piece that we generally miss. We are witchy from the point of view that a lot of times what we think shows up. You know, have you guys ever had that where like somebody crosses your mind and then they call, or you like, I should call this person, and they were like, I was just thinking about you, or you were just thinking about something and then somebody brings it to you in the next few days? That's working with energy. But for the most part, we've done it really, really unconsciously. So this is the beginning of working with and creating the energy of what you want your life to be like consciously. And for the most part, I've only gifted these energy pulls to like my high-end clients pretty much masterminds and private clients. And the reviews are like raving. I think you're just gonna love this. But yeah, it's the same pull for 90 days and it doesn't get boring. It's a stunning way to start your day. So I want to invite you to go check that out. If you guys are watching this live, you get a 20% launch discount. If you choose, you can bump your order up to a morning money PDF. That is 22 questions that I gave to Andres. Within 24 hours, he actualized $25,000. You can add that to your order. And I'm also going to invite you to buy the clearing loop if you'd like to after. Full transparency, this is absolutely so that you can start really cultivating something easier in your life. And in our next conversation, we're going to go into more of like what is this? How do we do it? What if, some more questions and conversations about this, so you can start to get a really well-rounded picture of energy, space, consciousness, and how you can play with it to really start cultivating the life you'd like to be living. Bye for now. See you in the next conversation.